Well, I wasn't expecting that. Monsters are taking over Hollywood studios. Walt Disney returns to Disneyland. And we are back from our Virgin Voyages. So this is news from the QUEUES. So let's jump into it. First things first, let's go ahead and talk about what everybody's talking about. The arrival of Carr's Land and Villain's Land in the Magic Kingdom. I did not see, we had heard the rumors they were coming. Everything was coming. I had no idea they would place them where they're placing them. Taking away Tom Sawyer's Island, the Liberty Bell, the Rivers of America. But we're not quite sure of everything. This is all concept art. So I'm sure there'll be changes. There'll be some movings and stuff. But I am so excited to get the Carr's Land and the Villain's Land back there. It's going to be a great addition to the Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom is going to be a totally different place back in that corner. I can now see how we can start to transition some of those Frontierland buildings into maybe a Tiana's restaurant later down the road, a Carr's Land restaurant, or a quick service. I just don't now understand how Hall of Presidents and Liberty Square, how that all fits in. It's going to be its own little area. Its own little area there in the Magic Kingdom. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this fits in. I know there is a lot of speculation. There's going to be people telling you their theories and everything. You know us. We go off of the Disney Parks blogs, or Disney Eats, the official sites. We have the official renderings of what it's going to look like. But as we all know, concept art to reality sometimes is not the same. So we're just going to be patient. Now, I will have to say, I do believe the train will have to close for an extended period so they can build all this land back there. So that's, with progress, there comes a little aches and pains, and that might be one of our aches and pains when the train closes down. But this is going to be very interesting, especially the Liberty Bell. If it's no longer in the Magic Kingdom, where do they put it at? Do they send it to another park? Somebody's referenced maybe sending it to Paris. I don't know. I don't know what's over there in Paris. And they're getting a ton of new stuff over there. So a lot of excitement came from D23 and wanted this to get on here. We got back from our cruise. We had a fantastic time. We hope you guys are enjoying our Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady Cruise series. Should be about 5 or 6 videos coming out. It'll be under its own playlist. So if you missed anything, you can go check that out. But we were on D23, and I'll give you the first benefit of Virgin Voyages. They have free Wi-Fi. So me being a cast member, we had an exclusive look at the D23 Horizons event. They actually broadcast it live to the cast members, and I was able to watch it on the ship. So that was pretty exciting to watch it and see everything unfolding. Might have been a little too much music for me. I wanted to get to all the information. I didn't want all the presentation on what was going to do this and what was going to do that. I wanted to hear the announcements. And there were a ton of them. We're going to go over some of them here in the news, but there's a lot more we can talk about. Digest, what's that called? Not disinfect, but when you take stuff apart, dissect. There we go, dissect. We need to take a look at a lot of these things, get more information of what's going to be happening in the park. We know that Villain's Land is going into Magic Kingdom, and we know it's going to be behind, well, we're assuming we know that it's going to be behind Carr's Land, maybe more towards the railroad tracks. Even if you look at an aerial map of the Magic Kingdom, behind the Haunted Mansion there's a nice space of land there that we can bring those rides and stuff and that land into that area. So it's going to be very interesting. 2025, everything's supposed to be starting and taking place, and it's going to be interesting to see when we're opening, 27, 28, a lot of things, maybe 30, 31. We don't know right now. There's a lot of speculation out there, and there are so many reporters and people that know the knows. I just tell you what I read off of the things and what we talk about in our discussions on our the comments that you guys leave and on our community page on YouTube and over on our Facebook group. That's the information I'm getting. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to tell you, oh, this is that and this and that. We have no idea. Walt Disney coming back to Disneyland, and I think this one's going to be pretty quick because from what we have been hearing, they've been working on this project already. And he's going to be up at the Opera House with Mr. Lincoln up there. And this is going to be really interesting to see how they pull this off and to see just what he's going to look like and what he's going to be like. If they can pull that off, I think it's going to be a great addition up there. There'll be crowds gathered at the front of Disneyland. If you've ever been there, you know when you walk in, it's over to the right-hand side. It's been closed for a long refurbishment. So maybe they've been working on this to where maybe 2025. Like I said, I don't even know all the dates because I'm still researching and studying and trying to find out all the information. So that's going to be interesting. We can't wait to get back out to Disneyland in 2025 to see him. The other big news was that the monsters are coming to Hollywood Studios. But the fun thing about this is watching everybody speculate on where Monsters is going. It's going to be a Monsters Land. Everybody says, oh, it's taking over the Muppets. Well, is that big enough area for land? A land. Oh, it's going to go where the Cars show is behind Tower of Terror. Is that a big enough area for land? Oh, it's going to go to Star Wars Docking Bay area or the Animators Court area. Is that a big enough area? So it's going to be interesting to see once construction begins of the Monsters. I cannot wait. The ride that they announced, the suspended roller coaster with the door theme of the Monsters movies, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be exciting. And once ground begins, we will all know where it's going in there. So everybody can speculate all they want, but unless you are inside that building, Walt Disney Imagineering, you really don't truly know until they start to break dirt and put those walls up. Biggest announcement, I think. I know we're getting new lands. We know we're not getting a fifth park, and a fifth park, if we ever do get one, maybe 15 to 20 years down the road, to be honest with you. So no fifth park. So we got our parks. The one thing that really excited me, because I was setting sail on a Virgin Voyages cruises, is that Disney has announced by 2031 we will have 13 ships in our fleet, which is unbelievable, because two things out of that, what I took out of that. We get 4 new ships, plus the magic and the wonder are not going away, because we're going to have 13 ships. So magic and wonder will still be around till 2031. So we have not yet sailed those ships, so we definitely got to do that. We have a lot of Disney sailing going our way. Apparently, we're going to have to start booking some cruises, because I've only been on the Dream, the Fantasy, the Wish. I still got to get we got to still get the Magic and Wonder, and then all the new ships coming aboard. That is going to be incredible. Now, let's dig a little deeper into this announcement, because the same German company is going to be making these ships. Well, that German company has a big hangar and a smaller hangar to build these ships in. Well, during this time, Carnival already has the big hangar. So Disney ships are going to have to be made into the smaller hangar, unless there's another area that they're going to build them in. But the smaller hangar over there, which means, what it sounds to me, we might get ships more like the Magic and Wonder size, or even smaller, because that's the building size that cruise builder will build. Well, that's the size that the building will hold those size ships, not anything larger. The Wish was made in the big one, not in the little building. So, is Disney going to go more towards destination cruising, which I think is a fabulous idea? Or are they going to say, we're going to build smaller ships so we get into ports that the bigger ships can't get into to give you a better experience? Adventures by Disney could start doing cruises on the cruises and then going to these smaller areas. There's such a great opportunity of what's going to happen with these cruise ships, especially if they are a smaller ship. Now, we just got off the Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady, which we're going to give you guys a roundup of that at the very end of the video series. But that ship held 2,700 people. After coming off the Allure, which was once the world's largest ship, and going to that size ship, Disney might be hitting the mark on this, because we had such a great experience, not overcrowded. And with the smaller ships, it just feels more intimate, and it feels like you're not on top of everybody. We got all the shows on there. We've got the foods coming. All kinds of stuff is coming. Like I said, I still got to research all this, and I just didn't want to get on here and say, oh, all this and this. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But it's very interesting that the big building in Germany is already booked for the Carnival folks. So that means the smaller building for the smaller ships, that's where Disney has to build, unless they're, like I said, unless they got another building somewhere I don't know about. But researching that and finding that out, that was kind of interesting. And a more intimate ship is quite all right with me and Michelle. We absolutely love them. A couple other announcements that were made that Josh said this was, all these plans that he announced were not blue sky, were not beyond, but they were an active process. So we can say, oh, they're already moving. No, active process means we have the plans, we have the ideas, we're going to move forward with this. Now, how do we execute it? Or, okay, this is done, we've got all the permits, now let's go ahead and start building. There's different phases of active plans. So everybody don't say, January 1st, 2025, we're going to start moving all this dirt everywhere. Remember, everything always will come in stages. I mean, it's just the logistics of trying to get workers and all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting. So they showed the Pirates Lounge, more concept art of that. And then one I didn't even think about, and sadly, this is the only announcement I heard for Epcot, was that we're getting an Epcot Lounge, which is over by Spaceship Earth. And if you've watched my news from the Queues, you watched our news from the Queues before, I showed you where the lounge was up there at Spaceship Earth. That's probably going to be the lounge area. But other than that, there was no other news given for Epcot. So no new countries as of right now. No new rides, nothing like that. I think Epcot is in a holding pattern for the next 5 to 6 years. Maybe the next D23 fan event. They'll announce something there, but right now nothing is happening with Epcot. It's just that lounge, and that's what we got. What else? Oh, Animal Kingdom. You got a lot of stuff happening over there. We're taking all the Dinosaur Land and all that, and it's all going to be the Indiana Jones ride, a different type of ride than what they have in Disneyland. Thank you for that. I still say that's where sometimes Disney missed the mark on Star Wars. Love the lands, but they're both the exact same. In Walt Disney World and Disneyland, there's nothing different except Disneyland has a third entry, which Walt Disney World has the same space for the third entry. They just didn't do it. But I like that this Indiana Jones is supposed to be a different Indiana Jones, because I love the one out there. So the one here is going to be interesting. So we got that. We got Zootopia taking over the Tree of Life, Tough to Be a Bug. So that's going to be very exciting. And that's supposed to be soon. They said 2025. And like I said, some of the difficulties is going to be where this stuff is going to go. When's it going to start happening? We all got to be patient. It's going to be 3-4 years before we see some of the stuff come aboard. It may be next year that we see some of the stuff come aboard. We don't know. Everybody is speculating. There's 1,000 of us, reporters and information people, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's all over the place. So just, like I said, we always go with Disney Parks Blog and Disney Eats because that's official. The pictures that I show in my videos are always from Disney Parks Blog because that's the official picture, not the rendering of what I think, what I would do type of thing. So that's why we always do that. What else? Got to cross off my list here. And the train, I'm going to be sad. The train's got to close down. because they just got to do all that building. And it's the hardships of construction, but that's okay. We'll get through it. What were the announcements that you guys were most excited about? Like I said, I was on the ship. I'm still trying to get caught up on all the comments. And thank you, by the way, for all the comments that you guys leave. We do appreciate it on all the YouTube videos that we put out for you guys, and over on the family Facebook group. Thank you for all the comments over there and sharing your adventures and travels. Remember, it doesn't have to just be Disney. It could be anything that you guys are visiting, want to share with the group and all that. So we really do love that. Like I said, me and Michelle had a fantastic time on this cruise. I don't want to give too much away because that's for the other cruise series. But I will have to say, I might have to go on a little diet because I thought there was a lot of food here. There was a ton of food on that ship, and it was all... We'll get into that. We'll get into that on that video series. So just want to touch base with you guys. I want to say we are back. Hello. Don't forget, Not So Scary. I will be there the 16th. Not sure where, but I went and picked up my costume today, so I'm pretty excited about that. And the 29th, Food and Wine begins at Epcot. And yes, we will be there for the first day. We cannot wait for the food and wine. And just want to say thanks, guys, for everything you do. Don't forget, if you're not yet a subscriber, our fellow traveler, as we like to say, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for us. It really does help our channel. Give us a big thumbs up because YouTube loves that. And if you want to, hit that notification bell so you know when we got more content coming up. And travelers, like we always say, until next time, travel and adventure is out there.